Okay, so what I'm going to show you now is how to actually manipulate this model, spin it around, look into the model itself using the cube and using some of these commands off the navigation bar. So the first thing really is I'm in the desktop version, but you can see the commands here that we're going to go through are exactly the same in the Internet Explorer version. It's just a bit more positive, a bit more responsive in the desktop exe file version of it, so I'm just going to use that. So the first thing is really use a 3-button mouse, the middle mouse button, because what you'll find is just in the standard command, if you scroll your middle mouse button up and down, you will be able to zoom in and out. Now what's useful for that is that, as you see, as I move my mouse pointer around and I start to scroll, it will move this pivot point and it starts zooming in at that point. So if I want to look at, say, the window area here, I can move my mouse there, start scrolling, and you'll see that I actually zoom to that area, scroll backwards, and I zoom out. If I want to have a look at the compound over here, I can move it over there, in we go, and back again. So it's important to move the mouse really into the area that you actually want to view before you start scrolling that middle mouse button. Also, if you hold your middle mouse button down, you go into the pan command. So you stay at the same zoom, but that allows you to pan the model around itself. So the first thing as well what I'd recommend is get a view that you're happy with on your model. And what's always useful is if you right click the cube, you can set the current view as home. So what that's allowing you to do is if ever you get lost in the model or you want to get back to this view, you can now simply come up and hit this little house here, that there, if you click that. So I could be anywhere in the model looking round, you know, I might get lost like here now and I want to get back out. I can just come up now, hit the house, and it'll take me straight back to that start view. So I'd always recommend setting that up first. Great for in a meeting as well, if you want to get back to, say, the reception area, because that's your main talking point in the design review meeting or something. So excellent. And then also this cube starts representing the build itself. So if you start clicking on the corners, you'll see that it actually spins the model around. If you want a top view, you can click the word top. Now you can see that it's set to true north at the moment, not project north. So again, just be wary of that at the moment. I can show you how to change that in a moment. And again, if you put your mouse over the cube, hold your left button down, but don't click it, just hold it down, and as you move your mouse, you will start a free orbit, like so. So it just allow you to free orbit around, and then let go, and you're back to where you are. If you actually use the circle that goes round the cube, you can see it there going orange. If you press your left button and hold it down over that and move your mouse, you'll see that you actually orbit, keeping at the same elevation, the same zoom, but you'll orbit the center of where you've picked. And obviously you can do south for a south elevation, use these arrows here around the cube as well. If you want to do a right elevation, back elevation, etc., click the top to go to top, and again hit the corner to get the corner view, etc. So there's quite a lot of functionality just with the middle mouse button and the cube itself. So let's quickly now just go through some of these. Now the top one here is called your steering wheel. So if you click that, you get this, which many of you may be familiar with. Just a little guide here. Before you start using the orbit or anything like that, always use this center. And if you press that, you'll see that you get the no-go symbol. And then as you move it over, you can see you can place the pivot point. Yeah, it centers it to the screen, and then you go orbit. Hold your left button down to do that, and you can orbit at that place point. So again, if you come to the main entrance area or something like that, which is around here, middle mouse button down just to pan it over, and I wanted to zoom around and look at the main entrance, hold your left button down over the center, place your pivot point, you can then orbit around that. Yeah, you can then select zoom, it will come in, etc., like so, and then again center, place it, select your orbit, and you can have a good look round that area then by using the center point. You can also, another good command on here is rewind. Now what rewind is, it's recorded all the places that you've actually been to in your session. So if you do get lost in the model, or your model disappears, etc., use the rewind buttons to get back to a familiar place, and then you can start navigating again. Another one here is to look. So it says this is as though you're stood in that position and moving your head around, so you can have a good look around, staying stationary, etc. Yeah. Just hold your left button down over look. Up and down is basically changing you in elevation. So this is great for checking risers, just checking clearances on columns and things like that. So it's just changing your elevation. And then the last one on here is your walk. Now again, I wouldn't use this walk. I'd use the walk over here with your 2 feet, but it's just really what it's showing you is allowing you to walk around your building, but I wouldn't use that one. So there's some real nice functions in here. Pan, probably never use, just hold your middle mouse button down, far easier. So that's your steering wheel. This is pan. Again, never use it because I just use my middle mouse button. This here is zoom. So I could select that, press and hold your left button down, make a square, let go, and it'll zoom into the area. Again, you can scroll back out from that. Also, if you click the little button under there, you can say zoom all, and it'll zoom out. If you just click, so this here is selection, so if you select an object in the model, you can actually come to that little arrow there and say zoom selected, and it'll actually go to the selected object, etc., which is useful. If you press your escape to release that object, you can hit your cube at any point, and that'll do a zoom extent for you as well. This orbit is exactly the same as holding your left button down over the cube, so again, I probably wouldn't use that. You've got then look around, which is the same as the look on here, so that look is the same as that look. So it's just many commands just being accessible from many different places. But this one here is something that you'll use all the time, and that's really to put your little pair of feet on, as you can see on the screen now. If you press and hold your left button down and move your mouse directly up your table, you'll start moving forward. If you go back, you'll start slowing down. So it's the distance from when you first click. So click with your left button, move it slightly away, going vertically up your table. The further you go away from that click point, the faster you'll go. Come back. If you go over the top of your click and keep going backwards, you'll start going backwards itself. Now if you move your mouse, keep your left button down, move your mouse to the right, you'll start panning right. Move your mouse to the left, you'll start going left. Now this takes a bit of time really to get used to it, but what's really useful is if you can start going to an area such as this, scrolling your mouse button, middle mouse button up and down, again moves your head up and down, but hold your middle mouse button down and you drop in elevation like so. So you can start going into the building itself, start looking around, yeah, drop in elevation, drop through the floors, there we go, yeah, and actually end up in the foundations, and again just to start walking around, and there we are looking over the reception area itself. Again, wanted to drop down, we can slowly drop down, yeah, and then we're heading towards the reception desk there now. There's the reception desk. So it does take a bit of practice, bit of use. This sometimes helps you because it gives you a little floor plan and shows you exactly where you are and which way you're looking. If you've not got that, you can simply come up to here, click on options, and you click that, click options, and switch on your 2D view there. Switch that on and it gives you that little guidance view. So that's useful. But like I say, the main one is these pair of feet, and just get used to using your left mouse button, holding it down and moving it around just to navigate around.